Hey there, welcome back. Let's continue with this here and we'll dig into it, figure out what's going on with the oil pressure and the water pump, see where it's leaking from. So I'll get you repositioned and we'll dig into it. So it looks pretty simple, just the front cover. Looks like there's 2, 4, 6, looks like there's 8 bolts holding that on. It should come off. 8, 9 down here, from what I can tell. So we'll pull this off. These bolts, I did drain the oil. Not sure what's going to be left in there. Pulling these bolts. There we go. They're just hanging up. Yeah, there's 2 dowel pins. Just hanging up on the bottom ones there. So that's what's behind the front cover. The next step is to get into this. We'll have to be careful with that. I have a feeling that will come apart. There's my broken push rod that I've been looking for. Made it all the way down there. Mystery solved. There it is. That's a win. Found those. Or found that part. Set that off to the side. Let's pull this apart and see what's behind the relief valve here. If that's sticking or if we have oil pressure issues. So there was some stuff behind it. Issue. It looks like it's been seating. Everything looks to be there intact. So we'll pull the oil pump off just to check things out. So the first thing is to pull this clip off and don't let it go flying. Didn't fly too far. And there it is, and then this should just slide out. And that's not very tight, is it? That was not very tight whatsoever. How about this one? Yeah, that's kind of weird. And that, to me, seems like it should be a little tighter. Those 3 hold everything in. These are just holding the pump together. Yes. Since the bolts were loose, I was questioning, were we getting bypass on the suction or the discharge side of the filter or the gasket. I don't see anything leaking by. This is the suction side. Looked like it had a good seat. And the discharge right there, excuse me. Looks like that was sealing good too. I do have a stack of gaskets on here for shimming purposes. We need to be careful with that. So everything looks to be decent. There are some funny wear marks on the gear. Don't know if that's part of it. Kind of see, maybe not, how the wear pattern is different. Not sure on that. I don't know what's going on. I will clean things up, do some looking in the book, and we will see what I come up with here. So that's everything on the inside. I did not pull this off because I know there's some balls back there for the governor. And they will probably all fall out. I'm going to leave it that way for now. I did mention earlier, happy to find that broken push rod. Mystery solved. So I'll bring you back once I clean things up here a little bit and see what we can find. All right, I have been investigating a few things, checking a few things out, and in the book it talks about this seat needs to be flush with the tabs, the mounting tabs. So I don't know if it's gonna, if I'm be able to show it on here or not. Might be too much light. You can see I can't slide it across there. And then once I put this on there, see it rocks back and forth. So that's got to be seated down there and a little bit better, which will cause this to sit flush on there. And then as I was digging around and looking at this some more, the edge or the lip is actually rolled over. So I'm going to try to pull this out without damaging it, and then just clean the edge up with the turning lathe and reinstall it to get it seated in the proper position. So we'll see what we can do there. All right, since we're set up and these two go together, the oil pump and the water pump to set the backlash on it, the gear lash, we'll pull this apart since we're here, because that is leaking. So let's pull that apart and see what that looks like. Three bolts hold this on, obviously. There's that part. Well, that's how that comes apart. There's some cleaning that needs to be done. All right, so I did get this pressed apart. I did not show you that or set that up. But here's what the impeller looks like. Looks pretty tough. The mechanical seal part. The rotating face is pretty tough. Hoping to get all that cleaned up. We'll put it in the turning way and clean it up that way. The rest of the seal is still in here. I'm going to pull that out, and then there should be an oil seal back there. Alright, well I think we'll end it there. So we got everything apart. I do have to come back and clean stuff up. We'll have to look into this oil pump, clean that up, clean the faces up a little bit. Clean up everything else. I did keep the gaskets to get a measurement for the oil pump, and then here's the water pump one. About to get all the measurements for that. The water pump is in pretty tough shape. We'll have to clean that up. Impeller is corroded up. We'll see what that looks like. Hopefully the rotating face is good for the oil seal, the mechanical seal for the water pump. I'll have to order some parts and we'll bring you back then. So that's where we stand with everything. Thank you for watching. Alright, since we're on the topic of oil pressure, I dug through the John Deere service bulletin book here to see if there was anything in the book about our issues with this. Did come across in the May 1953 service bulletins over to page 36, checking oil pressure. It talks about that. And here's the bullets in here. Talks about the oil pressure, checking the oil pressure, important in tractor diagnostics. And then on the next page it talks about, or shows the test ports where you can tap into, and then the oil pressure, the pounds per square inch and speeds and all that stuff. So kind of interesting. Another one that I stumbled across is right there, right next to it. Installing a cigarette lighter on your 40 series tractors. I guess today it'd probably be a cell phone charger. And then on the last page, they got safety SAM. Some of those are pretty comical. Can read through those. And then, yeah, my bookmark, auto light batteries in new vehicles. Mail in a card. If you want to know more information. So if you like seeing this, leave a comment, hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.